You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about a Christian school in California that is under fire and now under a lawsuit from female football players. Now, this is a Christian academy that has forfeited games in the past because they won't play against female players. They don't want to hurt them, et cetera, and they don't believe in this sort of new age woke ideology. We're seeing a more and more of a trend of female football players. Division III college has had 2 or 3 of them just in the last month that have popped up. That one that got so much attention that was supposed to be the first one, it looks like she was actually late to the party. Another female player beat her by like a week, and that got no media coverage at all. I don't care if either one of them get recognized. But the point is, this California school is now under fire and under a lawsuit. Now, Title IX does not give female players the right to play in contact sports. Football is excluded. It's not part of it. So they can't really claim that it's an issue with Title IX, and my hat's off to this Christian school because they're holding tight to their belief set all the way to the point of forfeiting games. Now, I contend this is not fair for the boys that want to play on the football team. Okay, these girls know this. They're playing on boys' teams, and they're forcing boys into a position where they're not being able to play. Plain and simple. And instead, the girls are the ones filing the lawsuit. This is California. I got to be real. I'm surprised that a Christian academy even still exists there. I'm surprised Gavin Newsom hadn't figured out a way to outlaw Christian academies at this point and have humanist and secular academies everywhere. Wow. Okay. Let's get to this. California high school football team forfeits game against team with 2 female players. A high school football team in California has elected to forfeit rather than play another team with a female player on the roster. This is despite the fact that the team forfeiting the game recently settled a Title IX lawsuit after forfeiting another game against a team with a female player. Valley Christian Academy in Santa Maria, California forfeited its September 30th game against Coast Union in Cabrera, California. This is not the first time Valley Christian has forfeited games for this reason. In fact, it's the 4th year in a row that this school's been put in this position. Wow. 4th year in a row, they've elected to forfeit a game because the opposing team had a female player, and it's the second time they forfeited against Coast Union. Look, a lot of schools would be like, okay, if you want to run female players out there, they better not be wide receivers. They better not go across the middle because, well, that might get ugly real fast. This is ridiculous, folks. Valley Christian settled a suit brought against them in 2021 by a female football player from Cuyama Valley High School in California. The suit was settled in August for $20,000. However, the position of Valley Christian and their superintendent, Joe Mickelson, who is also the pastor at First Baptist Church, is that Title IX doesn't apply in this particular situation because football is a contact sport. Quote, Title IX is very clear that contact sports are exempt from Title IX. Mickelson told the LA Times, that's the language. Contact sports are exempt from Title IX. It is an unfortunate tragedy that is not understood by most people. The specific language in Title IX pertaining to contact sports says in part, general, no person on the basis of sex shall be excluded from participation in, be denied benefits of, be treated differently from another person or otherwise discriminated against any interscholastic, intercollegiate, club, or intramural athletics offered by a recipient, and no recipient shall provide any such athletic separately on such basis. Separate teams Notwithstanding the requirements of the paragraph of A of this section, a recipient may operate or sponsor separate teams for members of each sex where selection for such teams is based upon competitive skill or the activity involved in a contact sport. However, where a recipient operates or sponsors a team in a particular sport for members of one sex but operates or sponsors no such team for members of the other sex, and athletic opportunities for members of that sex have previously been limited, members of the excluded sex must be allowed to try out for the team offered unless the sport involved is a contact sport. For the purposes of this part, contact sport includes boxing, wrestling, rugby, ice hockey, football, basketball, and other sports, the purpose of our major activity of which involves bodily contact. So they do not have to play against these girls, okay, these females, based on what that says, and that is a section of Title IX itself that I just read. Now, they're being sued. They're being sued by one of the female players because she feels bad she's not getting to play in a game. Well, what about the boys that actually are playing on the boys' team? They're not getting their opportunity because you want to go out there and play on another boys' team. The lawsuit against Valley Christian accused the school of denying the female player her, quote, athletic opportunities by clinging to antiquated and misogynistic ideals. Good grief. This action arises from abhorrent, intentional, and gross discrimination against a plaintiff, a female student athlete enrolled in Cuyama Valley High School, by the defendant's antiquated misogynistic ideals and policies through which defendants sought to minimize plaintiff's athletic ability and deprive her of athletic opportunities strictly due to her gender. Mickelson sees it differently. Quote, in all fairness, we want to treat women with gentleness and respect. Oh, my goodness. That's awful. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. The pastor explained, and we want our young men to apply that to the football field. And we believe football is a violent game. It is. And accordingly, we want them to operate within the rules of football and hit people well. We don't want them to do that to a young lady. My goodness, I think that's some admirable traits from this Christian school. I mean, it only makes sense that in today's society, you could be sued for having this viewpoint. That's baffling, but okay. The judge in this case didn't entirely agree with the other side. The civil rights allegations and personal claims against Mickelson were denied. However, the judge declined to dismiss the portion of the lawsuit pertaining to Title IX or the Education Code. Newshawk reports. Why in the world wouldn't the judge have dismissed that part? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, Title IX's pretty clear there about contact sports, of which football is a part of. So I don't understand what that's about. Now, I don't know if that's on a federal or state level. Title IX is a federal law, I believe. So that makes me wonder, did they file it? It's going through the state. Eventually, it'll go federal, or how? I don't know how that will work, but it seems to me like that's a slam dunk loss, and they ought to just throw that case completely out of court. But in this day and time, plus, I mean, guys, this is California we're talking about here, okay? They're operating to a beat of a completely absurd drummer. All right? You're talking about judges. You're talking about judges that are absolutely going to have radical political ideals out there. So do I count on a judge to do the right thing in California? Nah, I don't. In fact, I would call it unlikely. And the fact that this is a Christian school, that this is a religious school, where there's an attack on religion, in my opinion, to begin with, there's probably no chance of this being fair to this school in California. You saw they already had to settle one case. Now, that tells you how strong they are in their convictions. They settled the last one. They were like, yeah, we'll settle it. They'll probably end up settling this one. And then next year, when another female comes sauntering onto the football field, these boys are going to have to forfeit another game. It's not fair to the boys that these females are putting them in that position. They're on the boys' team. The boys are. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports supporters. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.